Hello everyone, it's Gordon Howard here, and in this video I will be explaining how the number 13 is not bad luck. And the number 13 is also not inherently a bad number either. Well, I'm going to be blunt on saying that the number 13 is not a bad number. So the point of this video is to refute a superstition that is found nowhere in scripture. And so the claim that the number 13 is bad luck and is a bad number is a superstition that is not found anywhere in scripture. So there is no biblical evidence for that. And believing in superstitions is also very unwise. Ever since superstitious beliefs in and of themselves are sanctimonious. Especially if a person attempts to mix superstition with the gospel. In fact, that is a very dangerous thing to do, since attempting to mix superstition and the gospel is attempting to add to scripture, and scripture tells us not to add nor take away from scripture. So throughout history, the number 13 was always associated with bad luck. But the unlucky things that involved the number 13 all happened, well, just so happened to involve the number 13 by coincidence. Since those bad things that happened in history could have involved other numbers. And of all the bad events in history that took place that actually did involve the number 13, some of those could have been avoided. So a sequence of unlucky events involving a particular number does not make that number unlucky or bad any more than putting on the Yankees hat makes you a baseball player for the New York Yankees. It's also very good that a video like this is being done, especially since there are some self-righteous Pharisees who believe in the superstitions like the one that is being refuted in this video. So now I'm going to touch on some good things involving the number 13. So, Psalm 13 talks about trusting in the Lord's mercy. And then there is Philippians 4 verse 13, which means that if you rely on God's strength, and then you will be able to do the things for him that does not naturally come to us. And that verse also has to do with being content, even during the hardest of times. And remember that this verse does not mean that you will automatically win a game, or achieve some selfish ambitions. And I'm pointing this out because this verse is commonly taken out of context to mean those things, when in reality, the verse actually means that if you rely on the Lord's strength to endure the difficulties in life, then you will be able to do so. Simply put, if you rely on the Lord's strength, then you will be able to overcome just about any difficulty, and also do the things that does not come naturally to us. Since it is by God's grace that we can do what does not come naturally to us. In Luke 13:13, Jesus healed a woman, and the woman glorified him. In Proverbs 13 highlights how the righteous and the wise are in good hands. And also shows that the righteous will be blessed by God, while the unrighteous will face judgment. So that means that Proverbs 13 also assures us that the righteous will not face judgment. And then 1 Thessalonians is the 13th book of the New Testament. That book focuses on Christian living. So these are some major instances where the number 13 is associated with good. And I will also point out that Friday the 13th is not bad luck. Since the concept of Friday the 13th being bad luck is also a superstition. And that is also nowhere in Scripture. And then if bad things do actually happen on Friday the 13th, then it is a mere coincidence that it happened on that day. Since the said bad event could have happened on a different day. And so Friday the 13th is not bad luck. And now I'm going to touch on what about if cults use a number for corruption? So in cases of cults using numbers for corruption, remember that the number in and of itself is not bad. It is how the cult is using the number that is bad. So for example, if Hollywood was using the number 13 to mean corruption, then that does not make the number 13 a bad number in and of itself, since in that case, it would be how Hollywood is using that number that is bad. So, the number 13 is not a bad number just because culture says so. In the same way, the number 13 is not bad luck just because the culture says so. We must remember that culture is not king. Jesus is king. So if a preacher tries to teach that the number 13 is bad, then do not believe that. Because that preacher is preaching self-righteous superstitions that are nowhere in Scripture. Good things can come from Friday the 13th. For example, there are some people who were born on Friday the 13th. And also other good things can come out of Friday the 13th as well. So that is it for this video. Have a nice day, and goodbye.